count mine. You know. Ask me what I'm doing, just grinding. Haters wanna hate, let them hate, never mind them. Be more bins, tryna reach the next plateau. And I can't stop till I achieve my goals. Keep a couple feet inside the photos. So official with the vibe, you can kick up my zone. Hold on for a minute, let me count mine. You know.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damian Cryer, and I am back with another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day today. Your boy is doing fabulous. If you guys have not subscribed to the Cryer family, all you have to do is turn that bell on to subscribe to the channel. But being subscribed to the channel only means you're subscribed. In order to get notifications, every time I drop a video on the Cryer family, you must turn on that bell with the vibrating symbol. That way, every time I upload a video on the Cryer family, all of you guys will get notifications. Also, guys, if you have not followed me on the new Cryer family Facebook page, it's a must that you guys just go on over to Facebook right now, type in the Cryer family Facebook, click on that search engine. It's going to take you to a thumbnail. That thumbnail is going to say the Cryer family Facebook. All you got to do is press that follow button, guys. That way, every time I drop a video over there, which will be 3 times a week, you guys will automatically be notified of the notifications. We are actually going viral on Facebook right now. One of the videos that was uploaded is almost at 2.5 million. So thank you guys for that, who went over and watched that video and supported the new Facebook page. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do this little video talking about my trip to Vegas and how appreciative I am. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and eat while we're talking. I got a plate of chitlins. Yes, you guys heard right. I said chitterlings. And I got some collard greens and smoked neck bones in here too. So, oh yeah. Thumbnail. So, I got me a little Gatorade I'm gonna be washing this all down with, and I cannot eat my chitlins or my greens without that hot sauce. So, ooh-wee, I just dropped the ball. No, dang on well, I'm going to say my grace first. Let me put this down, guys. My apologies for that. I'm so hungry, I just jumped right into the food. Thank you, Lord, for this food I'm about to receive, Lord. Thank you for watching over my loved ones, me, my family, everybody that's in my life, Lord. I ask you to continue to watch over them. Keep them all safe in the name of Jesus, Lord. I'm asking you, Lord, to please forgive us for our sins, Lord. We all sin every day, Lord. Just ask you to forgive us for our sins, Lord. Continue to make us strong, Lord, in every area of our life, especially at our weakest moments, Lord. And we all have weak moments. In the name of Jesus, amen. If I'm quiet for a minute or so, guys, please excuse me, but I'm sure you guys understand what's about to go down in the Cryer family's house today. Chitlins, I've been waiting on chitlins, man. Yes, when I got home from Vegas, I went and got 2 buckets. I went and got 2 buckets. I cleaned both buckets. And when I got done cleaning both buckets, which was 2 10-pound buckets, which amounted to 20 pounds, after I cleaned both buckets, I ended up coming out with like 5 pounds of chitlins. That's really sad and pathetic. It is. And then they have a limit on it. You can only buy 2 buckets at a time, which I think is so wrong for that. Back in Indiana, it's this lady. I have an auntie who does it as well. But you can pay them to actually clean the chitlins for you. Some people charge like $10 a bucket. So if you're paying like $8 a bucket, you don't feel like cleaning them, there's people who are actually cleaning for like $10 a bucket. So if you got 5 buckets you want to clean, they'll probably charge you $50 to clean all 5 buckets. Around the holiday season, I get it, because who wants to stand over the sink cleaning 50 pounds worth of chitlins? Like 2 hours per bucket, that's like 10 hours. Normally when I buy my collard greens, I normally get them in a bag because they're already pre-cut up and stuff, pre-cleaned. But this particular time I end up cleaning my own greens. I end up getting like the whole fresh ones, the leafy ones, and cut them myself and clean them. So, and when you do that, you can actually taste the difference. And I got my smoked neck bones in here too. I cook the greens for a couple of hours. Then when just before they get tender, I drop my smoked neck bones in there. I don't season the greens at all because the smoked meat already seasoned the greens. However, I do put like a radish in there, cut up sweet onions. So when y'all see stuff like this, I cooked it all myself freshly, so. You guys might notice this time I'm eating more in the beginning of the video, because if I don't, I'll get full throughout the video from talking so much. And this is some good food right here. Good soul food. And it was well needed. Because for like the last week or so, I've eaten at so many freaking restaurants. You guys seen the videos in Vegas where like we went out to eat at least a couple times a day. And I really loved it, man. I'm not gonna lie. But there is nothing like making your own homemade food. And this stuff right here, like the chitlins, is something I usually won't cook unless it's like a holiday, a major holiday like Christmas or Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving or Christmas. I said that backwards. Thanksgiving or Christmas is when I will cook chitlins, but greens like on a, maybe, I don't know, I'll say once a month, I'll end up making greens. And I'll make them more than one way. I always get collard greens. I usually stay away from the mustard and turnip, especially the turnips. I don't like turnip greens. I like the collard greens, the mustard, but I like the collard greens better. I cook mine different ways. Like this time I cooked my collard greens, I added smoked neck bones. Another time I cook collard greens, I'll probably add smoked turkey neck. Another time I'll cook them, I'll probably add Joe's bacon, like the fat back. Or I would add like some type of ham hock, smoked ham hock. Because you can't really over season the greens. Like I have a habit of over seasoning my food. And sometimes I don't notice it. The other people who eat my food will actually notice like, ooh, that's kind of salty. And they don't want to tell me because they don't want to offend me. So what I do is when I cook my cabbage or my greens, I will actually put the smoked meat in there because it's already salty. Then, if there's not enough seasoning on there, it's fine. At least the whole pot is not over seasoned. And you can just add like, you know, some flavors to it later on. So, I'm not even gonna ask you guys to forgive my rudeness because I am hungry. And that's what this is, a mukbang. I remember I used to be shy eating in front of the camera, not knowing like what people on the other end who's actually watching the video is thinking to themselves like, ooh, this dude smacks a lot. Ooh, this dude is greedy. But then, you know, after a while, it grows on you. It's almost like learning how to ride a bicycle. Once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you always know how to ride a bicycle. This stuff is the bomb. So guys, as you all know, my son Damon from the Prince family and his wife Bianca surprised all the parents with an all expense paid vacation trip to Las Vegas. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had no freaking idea until maybe just over a week before we actually left out and went. Well, one day, we were joking about it. Damon and Bianca had went out to Vegas, and they had so much fun that they was like, well, we should surprise the parents with a vacation trip to Vegas. Who would have ever thought that after they came off a vacation from Vegas, that they would come back to Houston and a few weeks after that schedule flights and a trip for all of us. So, I thought it was like a joke at first, because we've been on vacation before together. Like, we went to Hawaii together. Not all the parents, but I went to Hawaii with Damon and Bianca, Nate and Michaela. Back then, Nate and Michaela was still kind of tight. Who else was it? Big Lex ended up going with us. And then I ended up going to Florida with Damon and Bianca, and Damon, Bianca, me, and Vaughn. So, but this one right here was definitely different, because this time it was all the parents. Like, it was Marvin and Stephanie from the Harris family, which is Damon's mom and Damon's stepdad. And then it was Bianca's parents, her dad and her mom, and then there was me. So it was, you know, this was definitely different, because it's like we all know each other, but like going all on vacation together, you know, and me being like the oddball, you know, I'm sure someone's looking at me like, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this dude right here. He might be cutting this guy at my girl or something, you know, but it's not like that with me. I don't put out disrespect like that, especially when it comes to people I'm close to. But one of my favorite things I loved about Vegas, when we first left the airport, the sun was just setting. So as we were picked up from the airport and on our way back to the hotel room, the views was just sick, man. First of all, coming over the Grand Canyon was amazing. Just to know the type of strength and pressure that water actually holds that can create something so pretty was just unbelievable. And just to be able to witness it with my own eyes, even though we were several thousand feet off the ground, just to see it was just insane, man. It was insane. I can't remember what the lady said one of the lakes were, Lake Tahoe or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. I think one of the people I was sitting next to on the plane said we were flying over Lake Tahoe or something. It was just crazy to see, man. But coming into, approaching Las Vegas Boulevard or the Las Vegas Strip. All of the buildings seemed like they just came to life. I was seeing vans ride past me. Like, they have vans with billboards on them, like the lighted billboards that cost a lot of money. And one of the first billboards I seen was Whitney Houston. Almost sent chills down my spine just to know that as long as that she's been gone, you know, that she's still remembered the way that she is remembered, you know, and it's just amazing to see that. Because, you know, like, when people pass away, you know, we don't know the feeling because we never experienced it. But I believe, like, when we pass away, especially me, I'm always thinking, like, if I pass, or when I pass, is anybody gonna even come to see me or think about me? But I won't stay on that subject too long, because that's kind of a creepy subject. But it's always made me think, like, what would it be like? But to see Whitney Houston gone after all these years, and to see her on a billboard that's riding around was just really nice, man. Now, as you guys know, you guys may not have heard me talk about it in a lot of videos, but some of my old videos when I first started doing YouTube, I used to talk about magicians. Oops, this is too bright. I used to talk about musicians because I was always fascinated with musicians. Now, David Copperfield happens to be one of my favorite musicians since way back, since I can remember. I don't know how I ran across David Copperfield, but years ago, I was at my grandmother's house. I remember laying on the floor, laying on the mattress. Well, like a pallet. They call it pallets, like the blanket and the sheet up under it, whatever. I remember laying there. And I snuck the TV on one night, because she made us turn the TVs off at a certain time. I remember sneaking the television on and turned the volume all the way down. Back then we had like the floor model TV with the big butt on it. And I remember turning to this musician, David Copperfield. And I swear, guys, I was up to almost daylight the next day watching David Copperfield. So he was always one of my favorite musicians. And like over the years, I just forgot about him because I never really heard much about him anymore. But when I got to Vegas, found out that we were booked to go see a David Copperfield show. And it was really amazing. And then on top of that, another one of the biggest magicians in the world is Criss Angel. I wasn't too familiar with Criss Angel, even though I've actually heard of Criss Angel, but I just wasn't really familiar with Criss Angel the way I was with David Copperfield. I'm gonna tell you something. Damon, he was like that. When Damon went down there the first time, him and Bianca went down there the first time, they actually, went to a Criss Angel show. So Damon's telling me about it. He's like, Dad, you know, this guy named Criss Angel, this guy walked on a ladder without his feet touching the steps. And when Damon's telling me the story, I'm literally like side-eyeing him like, okay, son, really impossible. Then he's telling me how the guy did something where he was on stage and poof, 2 seconds, he was in the crowd just sitting there behind everybody. It was crazy. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen some things that I could not believe at these magic shows. It was unbelievable. So now, since I'm back home in Houston, I decided to go ahead and check out Criss Angel on YouTube. And to my surprise, since I've been home, I have been locked in on his channel. Because we know the magic stuff is fake, okay? We know it. But we still try to figure out, how the hell did they do that? How the hell did you make these pigeons fly across the room? How did you take out a white handkerchief? A white handkerchief like the ones that people wear in their suits, and the handkerchief goes flying across the building, just a handkerchief. And the handkerchief goes around the room 4 or 5 times and it comes back to the guy's hand and he goes like this, and all these birds fly out of his handkerchief. It's like, how the hell do you do that? So Damon was telling me the story. I personally didn't believe it. But when I went to the show, I made a big believer out of me. So my son asked me after the show, he said, so Dad, so how do you feel about David Copperfield now after you've seen Criss Angel? I'm not gonna lie. Sorry guys. Dad how do you feel about David Copperfield after seeing Chris Angel live like that? Guys, listen. I'm usually not the type that jump in and out of cars. And y'all know what I mean when I say jump in and out of cars. Like, I'm just not the type that jump in and out of cars. I'm not, despite what some of you guys may believe. But this is a situation where I jump in and out of a car. Because I want straight from David Copperfield to Team Chris Angel. This dude, man, is bad. If you guys ever get a chance to go to Vegas, book one of those shows with Chris Angel. Now, I'm not gonna say David Copperfield wasn't all that. But let's just say, David Copperfield, he's like me. He's old school, where Chris Angel is old school too, because I'm 51. Chris Angel is 54. David Copperfield is 65. So there's a huge age difference there, but only a 3-year age gap between me and Chris Angel. But I'm just gonna say, I still love David Copperfield because he is the original. But watching Chris Angel, it just really brought some crazy stuff to mind. Like, for example, started watching David Copperfield. It was cool to say, okay, I like this guy, he's good. But it wasn't enough for me to research David Copperfield, okay? When I seen Chris Angel and the way that he performed, when I got back home to Houston, that's what made me really want to reach in and investigate further, like, how the hell did he do this? Now, you know, we all get exposed at some point. You know, we piss someone off, they'll expose us. If we cut communication off with certain people, they'll expose us. And so I seen one video where Chris Angel got exposed, where they was trying to show like, well, this is what happened here. There was clouds behind him in this scene, but there was no clouds behind him in this scene and stuff like that. So I didn't want to watch that video of them exposing Chris Angel. And the reason why, because I like his videos so much that I didn't want to watch a negative video pertaining to him to spoil how I felt about his content. Just so happened, I like his content. So when you see somebody that you really like and enjoy watching, you really don't want to watch the bad videos about them, because I want to keep the good thought in my mind. Now, me personally, I would definitely love to go back and see another Chris Angel show. I still support David Copperfield, but I definitely will go back to Vegas just to see Chris Angel, because the trip would have been well worth it. This guy puts on a performance that you guys would not believe. I mean, when you see adults crying, people that's older than me, you know it's got to be entertaining, man. But anyway, guys, that is not why we're here today, man. I want to say thank you all for joining me today in this video, man. There's so much I want to talk about. I just don't know where to begin, man. You know, I don't know where I want to begin in this video. But the first thing that I would like to say is thank you guys all for joining this video once again. Thank you guys for supporting my YouTube channel, man. You know, this is like a huge blessing, man, to be able to just do the things that I do, witness the things that I witnessed, meet the wonderful people that I've met since I've been doing YouTube. Now, I have met some people on YouTube that I thought was really cool, friendly, but turns out that it wasn't the case. I found out that broadening my circle was the worst mistake that I could have ever made, because anything that I've ever told anybody in confidence or personal actually made it to the internet. And it was brought to the internet by multiple people. And so not everything was bad, but let's just say, you know, this journey has taught me to really, you know, not really trust anybody when it comes to this, because, you know, you have more people trying to tear you down than you have that's actually trying to support you. And sometimes the ones who's trying to tear you down are the ones that's closer to you. And it really made me change my whole trajectory of how I upload videos, the type of stuff I upload. I try to watch what I say in my videos now, because some people kind of take what I say as if I'm firing a shot at another couple. And that's really never the case with me. I mean, I'm an older guy. I just love doing what I do. I love bringing you guys entertaining content, man. And most importantly, I love working for myself, you know, and that's why I don't understand why so many people get off into making these channels just to bash people. You know, why not make a career out of it? Make some good money out of it. You know, you can make a really, really good living off of it. That's why I don't understand, like, why do so many people choose to take the lower road when you can do so much positive stuff, man, and make so much money and have a life-changing event for yourself. A lot of people want to be known as drama channels. Do I have my own personal drama from time to time? Of course. But never am I going to create a channel just solely on drama. I mean, literally, I have people right now who only drop videos when I drop. They won't drop a video unless I drop a video. And they'll try to take something out of my video and critique it into something that is not even. And I go to those channels sometime and look, and I be literally laughing. It's like, Damien, every single video, every video, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And I'll just be shaking my head. Now it's like, it's real. Is it really reality? I like that person right there. That person is really funny, because that person like he says things about me that's funny, but he also lets me know how he feels without bashing. And that's what I call a good commentator. That's what I call a good commentator right there. And I think that, like, people start YouTube channels, people start off as commentator channels, but then they end up leaning to the drama because they have these other people reaching out to them, that's other YouTubers that's in the same field of work. And they all come together behind the scene, and they all exchange phone numbers, and they all start trying to compare their notes and buddy stuff. And then boom, they find out 2 or 3 months down the line, I should never get that person my number, because then they end up turning around, making videos about them and backstabbing them. And it's like history has nowhere to go. It just repeats itself over and over and over and over again. So if you are an upcoming YouTuber, man, I'm not saying don't F with nobody. All I'm saying is be careful with the people that you mess with. I thought that reaching out to older people that's older than me would be a really good benefit. Turns out to be the worst nightmare you could ever think of. You would think an older person is going to guide you in the right direction. Boy, did I get it wrong. I mean, you have to really choose the people that you deal with, you know, when it comes to this platform. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with being supportive to every other channel out there. Just don't get caught in a sauce by exchanging phone numbers, having this buddy system, and thinking that everybody's your friend just because y'all exchange numbers. Because trust me, there is no friends in this YouTube game. And that's exactly why it's bringing me to my next topic right here. My son, Damon, all of my kids are a blessing to me. Every last one of them. Every last one of my kids are nothing but blessings to me. And I am so grateful to be their dad. I have some great kids in my life, man. Not only great kids in my life, I have great kids in my corner who wants nothing but the best for their dad. You know, and I can't do nothing but just appreciate him. My son, Damon, me and him talk a lot. And even though that he's my son and I'm his dad, Damon is 30 years old. I'm 51. I'm 21 years older than my son. I give him advice, but a lot of times my son gives me advice. And we listen to each other. We have this bond, you know, and I know some people will say that you seem to be more closer to Damon than you are to Akeem or Margaret or Darian, but that's not really the case. You see, me and Damon, when Damon lived in Indiana and I live in Indiana, we were the same way we are here. We talk multiple times a week. We see each other multiple times a week. You know, he's one of the ones that I wasn't around when he was growing up, you know. But over the years, you know, I have come to realize the type of man that he has become. I see the type of husband that he is. I see the type of dad that he is to his kids. I've seen him and Bianca weather through the storms of people bashing them all on the internet to looking at them blossom the way that they now are. Able to do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. And that's what's helped me along the roads. Like, how did y'all deal with all this bashing? I remember years ago asking them, how do y'all deal with all this hate? And my kids looked at me and they said, just ignore it. Just keep laughing and keep grinding. you know, and then it started happening to me. And I said to myself, how do I deal with this? And guess what, man? It actually works. Keep grinding, keep laughing, keep smiling, because the bank is open 6 days a week, you know, and a lot of times that's where they're taking you to the bank. So we have a lot of deep conversations, but to see the growth over the years, man, I guess in a sense, what I'm trying to really say, as I look back over all the years, man, like with going to prison and stuff, and I know some of y'all may say, hey, he's like a broken record. He's always going down memory lane, talking about when he was in prison. But when I think about a lot of stuff, man, I feel so guilty. I feel like, you know, I chose the streets over my kids, you know, the street gangs, selling drugs, doing drugs. I chose so much over my kids. And now, when I look back, I see Darian, my son Darian in Indiana. He's doing his thing. You know, he loves basketball. He's a really good kid. His attitude is so positive. He's great at what he does. Darian is a really, really determined kid, man. I mean, it goes all the way back from the time that he started walking to touching a basketball to, you know, he couldn't do this, so he was throwing it under like his hands or whatever. And I remember me and his mom buying his first little basketball rim, you know, like the little plastic ones that you put in the house. Him in the kitchen playing basketball with his brothers. Me in the room yelling, y'all quit making all that noise in there, you know, to my son Hakeem, you know, growing tall and having kids, and my daughter Margaret, her graduating, getting her nursing degree. My son Deontay, when he came home, how he was doing so good for himself. You know, my son Dion, seeing him grow up right now, you know, I'm around him a lot, man. You know, watching him grow up, watching him take his first step, and it's stuff like that that makes me feel so guilty. Down to see what Damon and his wife is doing now, how they bless me, his mom, his stepdad, Bianca's parents, both mom and dad, you know, and his success. Sometimes it makes me feel guilty, and the reason why it makes me feel guilty because sometimes I ask myself, damn, did I deserve all this, man? Did I really deserve all this? You know, all of the great things that's going on in my life right now, you know? And I don't feel like I have bragging rights at all because of the things that's going on. I feel like this was all a blessing, man. You know, it's a blessing that I didn't deserve. And you know, I got my kids to thank for this right here. I never, you know, working that job in Indiana, as you guys know, I worked almost 10 years at a foundry before it shut down in 1994. Then I ended up starting, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't 1994, it was 2004. And then me starting a job in 2005 at Valbruna, where I shared almost 15 years of my life in a steel mill before I moved out here. You know, I never thought that I would see myself retiring in my late 40s. I believe I was 48, going on 49 when I moved out here in 2019. And like, it's, you know, it's been up from here. Even though I have my own struggles, it's been up from here. It's been like, there's no looking back. And if I ever had to go back to the old ways as far as getting up, going to work every day, I wouldn't be embarrassed about it. I wouldn't mind it one bit, because I said, as long as that I'm here on this earth, I'm gonna make sure that my kids is not struggling, even if I am struggling. I'm gonna make sure that I can be there for them the best way that I can. You know, and a lot of great things that's happening right now, and especially like coming from the Prince family's direction. You know, I know that I didn't really deserve any of this stuff, like the new Mustang that they surprised me with, vacation trip to Florida, vacation trip to Hawaii, this trip right here recently to Las Vegas. You know, when these trips were going on, I didn't know that they were going to happen until literally a week or so before it actually happened. I didn't know the plane ticket was already booked. I didn't know that my hotels was already booked and paid for. You know, there's a lot of things that I didn't see coming. And so that's why I said I be feeling so guilty, you know, when I think about a lot of stuff that's happened. Because I know that I really, you know, as a dad, I really wasn't there for them the way that they're there for me. And it does make you feel guilty. Now, I'm very appreciative and I'm very proud of all of my kids. It's not just Damon that I'm proud of. I'm proud of all of my kids because they are all successful. Every last one of my children are successful. You know, my son that I lost, Deontay, you know, he bumped his head a few times. He had his run-ins with the law. He made his mistake. But my son, Deontay, he was just as successful as the rest of us. He knew how to get money. He knew how to take care of his child. He knew how to take care of his responsibilities, his family, and he did a damn good job at it, you know, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of all accomplishment that my kids have accomplished over all these years. And you know, we didn't come from such a, you know, rich background that had a lot of money. Hell, my mom, she was a single mom who never drove a car. I mean, this is for real. My mom never drove a car. She raised 5 boys and 1 girl. You know, there was 6 of us, you know, and I know I had a chance to get it right back then, but I kept making mistakes. I kept doing dumb stuff, getting kicked out of school, stuff that pissed my mom off, taking her out of her comfort zone where she had to come to the school or come to the jail to put money on my books or come out to the youth center to visit me. I put my mom in some really uncomfortable positions, you know. And, you know, when I look back on a lot of stuff, I always ask myself, what did I do to deserve this right here? I am a very happy man, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And this is why I sit back and I don't let a lot of stuff bother me. I do see stuff, but literally, I laugh at it. And as long as that you keep that attitude when you see stuff, you just laugh at it, trust me, you're gonna be okay. Because there's nothing that's gonna stop you except you. And that's something that since I've been in this YouTube game, you know, it's no secret. Damon, Bianca, DNB Nation, where it all started from, they laid the blueprint, man, for a lot of us. Now, a lot of us ain't gonna come on here and say that because they're not gonna give them their peas. They're not gonna give them their props. We know this already. We already know this. They're not gonna give them their props. They set the blueprint for a lot of us, man. I look back on things, you know, I feel truly blessed for the position that I'm in. I feel truly blessed that I'm in a position to help people out. You know, I've done paid people's bills. It's something I can't do all the time. And it's something I'm not gonna do because I have to live for myself and I have children, you know, who need me even more. But I've been in a position to, I bought someone a car one time, you know, cell phones, Christmas trees, Christmas toys, cash apps. And you know, speaking of giveaways, there was another giveaway that I was supposed to have a few months ago, which was a television giveaway. And I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I stopped the giveaway, that particular giveaway, because at that time when I was doing the cash app giveaways, I was being dragged through the mud bad. I mean, the same thing happened to my kids. They were doing these cash out giveaways and they got dragged through the mud. It's like you come online and you're opening up your checking account to all these people and giving them thousands of dollars just to be called a scam artist. You know, and I know that it wasn't everybody, but it's enough people who does that makes it really hard for the people who really need the stuff. You know, and we all have good hearts, man. We really do. We're some of the most humblest people that you guys ever want to meet. Despite what strangers say about us on YouTube. We have people making videos about us all the time. Those people are strangers to us. We don't know those people. They don't know anything about us. They basically base our life off what they've seen in a 10 or 15 minute video. And they make videos constantly about us. But they don't really know the type of people that we are, you know. But we know one thing, that if you're ever connected to anybody and anybody ever knew anything personal about you that you don't want anybody else to know, it's pretty much open season for you if you have enemies on YouTube. So how I deal with that, man, is actually, I used to be so upset about it, but now I consider it a blessing. It's a true blessing, because if they're not talking about you, you're not popping. That's one of the things that Damon actually taught me, was to be strong-minded when it comes to this, because the internet is really dangerous, you know, and sometimes you have to take your own steps and measures to put a stop to stuff. I know some people have mentioned something about some things that I recently did to take action. And it's true, it's no secret. I'm not boasting or bragging about it. And I actually could have took the action to a whole different level, but I chose not to. And the action that I actually took, I did not want to do it. But sometimes you're pushed into a corner to where you don't have a choice but to fight your way out of it, you know? So back with the Damien and Bianca thing, man, you know, like I said, a lot of good things that happened for me, I don't feel like I deserve it, because I feel like that I wasn't really there. You know, it's like, I'm so proud of all my kids, man. I feel thankful that God blessed me with 6 healthy kids, man. You know, and I just wish that I wouldn't have the feeling that I have. And when I say I feel guilty because a lot of stuff that they do for me and other people's families and stuff, that's the type of stuff that I feel like that I want to do for people. I want to be able to take my kids on a vacation. I want to be able to get all of my kids together and us just all jump on a plane and just fly somewhere and just do the damn thing, man. You know, that's what I call living. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys, when I was in Vegas, as you guys know, I was the eyeball who was, you know, there. I wasn't booed up with anybody or coupled up. And so during those days out there, you know, as I went to sleep in my hotel room every night, I pretty much watched CNN until I went to sleep, watching this Vladimir Putin with the war going on over there with Syria, you know, the war going on over there in Russia and the other country. And I was like just watching that, and I was also doing like a lot of thinking to myself while I was over there. Like the getaway, it really helped me out this time. I mean, it really did something to me. You know, when I'm here in Houston, I'm always so busy doing stuff, recording, even though I was recording there, but it was nothing like when I'm at home, you know, because, you know, I got Dion running around, and, you know, Dion at his age, you know, he's a full-time job, you know, and he needs a lot of attention. And a lot of you at 1 or 2 year olds, you guys can concur with what I'm talking about. But like over there, you know, when I went back to my room, I'm lonely every night. And when I say lonely, I'm not saying it as just a bad, sad thing. I'm just saying I had time to think about a lot of stuff. I had time to reflect on life. I had time to really realize just how blessed and just how fortunate that I really am. You know, I sat back and think about all the times that I was shot, stabbed. I got screws holding my shoulder together right now. You know, I went to the airport the other day, coming into, leaving Houston's airport, Bush International, to get into the airport in Vegas. There and back, they stopped me both times going through the customs because of the screw on my shoulder went off. That's always a constant reminder. When it gets cold outside, I get the arthritis from the 6 bullet holes. That's a constant reminder of just how blessed that I am to be here, man. To be able to talk to you guys and make these type of videos and stuff. You know, I'm really blessed to just share a part of my life with you guys. And this is why I'm freely, when I talk on the camera, I don't hold back anything from you guys. You know, I tell you guys everything about me, about my life, so you guys can feel free to search me, Google me, pull up anything you want, police reports, anything, because there's nothing that can be exposed about my life that I haven't exposed already about my life. And that's why I don't really care what people say about me, you know, but I just feel so grateful, man, for my family. You know, I have a very, very big family back in Indiana. You know, moving out here to Houston, I love it. It's a huge responsibility on me because I do have grandkids both on my side with Damon and Bianca and my daughter's side with Margaret that's here in Houston. My son Akeem has kids, you know, my son Deontay has a child. And so I'm just hoping and blessing them around to see my son Darian and my son Dion have their first child, you know, and who knows what God has in store. But I can honestly say, man, I feel really, truly blessed for all the family love, man. Damien and Bianca has really changed some lives, man. They have really changed lives. And there's not a day that goes by, you know, that I'm not grateful. Because I know if it wasn't for them and the grace of God, that I would be in Indiana right now, still living in that apartment, struggling right now to pay my bills, going to work, not knowing if I'm gonna have a job or get laid off. I mean, right before I moved out here to Texas, man, things got really bad out there. You know, my job was slowing down. People were actually getting laid off at my job. Even right as I moved down here, people were actually getting laid off. And the higher seniority people were able to stay around. The overtime had went away, and we depended on that extra money to come in. You know, child support and hospital bills and garnishments, and then you got rent, your light bill, your water bill, then you got car insurance that's ridiculous. You know, at the time, my Mustang was only like 2 or 3 years old, so my insurance was still like $400 a month just for that car alone. That didn't even include my truck. I had another truck before I moved down here, another F-150. So that's why I say, man, I feel truly blessed and truly thankful. Damien and Bianca has changed a lot of people's lives, and only if you guys only knew the real truth of some of the stuff that I've witnessed these two do with my own eyes. You guys would not believe some of the things that I've witnessed with my own eyes that these two have done for people. It just knocked my socks off, man. It knocked my socks off. So I would say I'm in a position where I couldn't really ask for anything else, man. I just wanted to make this video, man, and dedicate this to the Prince family, man. Saying, guys, thank you guys. And for my other kids, they don't feel no type of way because my kids know how I feel about all of them. I love all of my kids equally. I don't love one more than I love the other. You guys hear me talk about Damien and them a lot. Obviously, I'm around them a lot. So we are very close, but I'm very close to all of my kids. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video off, but I love you guys, man. I wanna say thank you for watching this video. And before I do end it off, I've been lagging on the post notification shout outs. And I am so sorry for that, guys. First post notification shout out goes to Lady T Got the Tea. Gang, 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 Lady T Got the Tea. You are today's first post notification shout out on the Crier family. And the second post notification shout out goes to Ellie's Wilson. Gang, 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 on the Crier family. And the third post notification shout out goes to Simone Hall. Gang, 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 you are today's third post notification shout out on the Crier family. But I love you guys. Until next time, man, it's your boy Damien Crier. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.